All right. Welcome, everybody, to Code 4 Podcast. Today is January 9th, 2026, and we have our boy, Charlie Proctor, on board as our guest today. Charlie, welcome to the show. Welcome to the episode. We're proud to have you on. Charlie is a veteran friend of ours that I haven't seen since about 2014, 2015 time period. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. We were in upstate New York together. We served in the Army together. And now he lives in Ohio. Is that correct?
I'm in IO,
OH.
although we lost.
But Charlie just started a podcast, and he just launched recently. So we just got wind of that, and we decided to have him on as a guest today, and we are happy to have you on. Charlie, welcome to the show. Welcome to the episode. Your new podcast, you coined it the Unfiltered Hour. So tell us a little bit about you, and then talk about your podcast for us.
So my name's Charlie. Obviously, I was served with both of you guys. But first, let me say thank you guys for having me on and everything. A little bit about me, background, obviously military background and stuff, 2 kids, hang out, just kind of go through a lot through life, coaching, working, trying to get out there, meeting new people, and just, and basically what happened is the Unfiltered Hour was created because, I really wanted to start like a movement for people. Like, we need to get out of our comfort zone. People wait to do things, and next thing you know, time is gone. Kind of like me with this podcast. I wanted to create this for so long, and I waited and waited and waited. And luckily, luckily I have 2 friends that did it. And then I started watching your guys' podcast, and I was like, that looks fun. That looks fun. But like Sal said, there's a lot to it. It's not always fun and everything like that. But I wanted to do this because I want people to come to reality with themselves and know that, like, hey, time is not on our side. You'll never get time back. So what we have to do is take the risk right now. Let's risk it. Let's get out there. Let's do the things we've always wanted to do. Not
going to be perfect.
It's not. I mean, with this podcast, there's a million things that I see that you guys do that I'm like, I need to learn that like today. And that's just the way that we get better and stuff. And that's kind of what this is. But I'm going to cover everything. Reached out to so many different types. I mean, we're talking sports, people like talking about the military. We're going to talk about people, just jobs, We're going to talk about my daughter's like, can we do makeup? I'm like, look, I don't know nothing about it, but sure, we can try.
Do it.
But I want a general overall audience. You know how you guys like have to find like your niche and get a certain audience? I really just want to draw anybody and everybody that really needs that push over that hump, and let's get you living life to the fullest. And that's kind of where the podcast came from.
Okay. Nice. So like you coined it the Unfiltered Hour. Are you trying to keep it right at an hour, or what's your intent there?
No, typically, so the hour, I mean, you got to look at it. Conversation, you get into a deep conversation. I mean, it's going to end up being about an hour, if not hours. But, like your first hour that you're talking to somebody, you're talking about some pretty deep stuff, and you're going to kind of dig into them, and you're going to kind of get things out of them that they wouldn't typically say to somebody else. And then typically after that, they're always like, okay, I need to kind of calm it down. I'm tired. I don't, you keep their attention for about an hour.
When we first started this, Sal, we were recording like upwards of 3 hours at a time.
Oh yeah.
And we had to start scaling it back just because at the time we were using StreamYard, and anything north of that 2-hour mark, it blocked all the AI tools. The AI tools were not available if it was over 2 hours. So at that point we scaled it back to 2 hours. And now even when we have guests, you would think that 2 hours is a long conversation. It actually flies by. Like it goes
way too fast.
Yeah.
Way too fast.
Yeah, that's kind of what I fear. I do fear that I'm going to end up getting on here. Next thing you know, I got a 5-hour podcast, and I'm like, crap.
But I like the Unfiltered Hour is basically, it says like, it's a metaphor, I think the way I see it, it's a metaphor for like, it's like the bottom line, right? This is the end all be all. This is the end. This is the truth. This is behind the curtain. This is, like you said, that Unfiltered Hour. Like we're going to talk about.
It is. And honestly, like I'm hoping people come on here and understand it's going to be uncomfortable, but by the time you leave, you're going to feel comfortable with where you're at. You're going to take ownership of your life. You're going to stop waiting for permission. You're going to stop waiting for somebody to say, it's okay to do it. It's okay. You're just going to, you are out in Cali. So I mean,
this is your Unfiltered Hour, and this is your coming out.
I just want people to realize like, hey, look, like you don't have to ask for permission to do things. Just go do
Yeah.
it. Man, if you want
Yeah.
to go travel, go travel. I understand like money restricts people. You know, I'm telling you right now, when you die, that money ain't going with you. So if you got
Ooh.
the extra money, go on vacation. Go visit somewhere you never thought you would see.
Hmm.
So, and I
Yeah,
mean,
Absolutely.
live life now. Like what I think we talked about it on an earlier podcast, Sal. Like most people work until they're age like 65, right? And
Yep.
at the
Sleep.
time that you finally can retire monetary
Yeah.
wise, like you're
Sleep.
at a point where you can't do as much. You're less mobile. You have health restrictions.
Yeah. You sleep a
So you
third.
get
You
yeah.
sleep a third. You work a third, and you live a third of your life. And
So
and they
if you're
need to,
not,
and that needs to change. That needs to change.
yeah,
People need to start living life more.
absolutely, Charlie. So what are some of the things that you're going to want to talk about on this podcast?
So, like, I started working on like the first 10 episodes and everything. And basically, like, the first one is more of, so I titled it, No One's Coming to Save You.
Mm,
And,
good one.
like I kind of was going through it, and it wasn't more of like I was telling people, like, it's not a Jesus Christ. Like, like he's not, I'm not talking about him or anything like that. When I'm saying no one's coming to save you, I mean, like, you have a job you hate, no one's going to find you another job. If you hate your job, go find a job you love. You're not making enough money, go make more money.
yeah.
If you live in a rundown house and you want to get better, go better yourself by waking up and doing the same thing every day. You're not going to better yourself. You're literally gonna just stay in the same rut you've been in. You have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. But anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna talk about stuff like that. I want to do a veteran one where we talk about talk to veterans about their experience in the military and stuff. I really would like to help guys that are graduating, guys or girls that are graduating high school that don't know if they want to go to college or what they want to do, and kind of give them an insight because I think joining the military is a cheat code. You get free education, you get free healthcare, you get to travel. And it's like,
Yeah,
why wouldn't you
exactly.
want to do that? Give 3 to 5 years, enjoy life, travel. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do things that suck, but at
And
the
you
end
get
of the
some
day,
life
it's
experience out of it.
Yeah.
exactly. And it makes you grow up
Yeah.
Not only that, but like it
sometimes.
exposes you. It exposes you to other cultures. It exposes you to other walks of life, and it just broadens your horizons and understandings to the human condition, dude. Like to who you can be. Who's out there. Like what's out there. Like fuck, man. I would have never loved a fucking guy from Ohio if I would have never met you. Like and like we were like damn near roommates for a good like 6 7 months
Yeah, long
before
time.
before we split like companies and whatnot. But yeah, like there's just so much experience that you get from it, Ryan. Like so much
Yeah,
experience.
and you get forced mentorship as well. Like, you don't have a choice in the matter. Some of your
Oh,
mentors may not be the greatest, but there are some out there that you're like, "Oh, shit, I learned a lot just from this one dude," or
I was
but with even that, like even if you have mentors where you're like, okay, they're not the great, you can learn what not to do.
exactly. You learn
You
a
can
lot more
kind
from
of
the ones that are terrible than the ones that are good.
Yeah, and it kinda defines you as a person, and that's where, like, when I moved back home, which I swore I never was gonna do, but I did, and I don't regret it or anything. I got great family and friends, my kids here, and they love it here and stuff, but when I moved back home and I started talking to, some friends and just, just people that acquaintances that I knew around town, I was like it's like, "Man, these people don't even know what's outside of this like, this town or anything." Like, there's so much out there in this world, and people need to get out there and experience this stuff. They need to
Mhm.
see that this world is bigger than just the small town that you're from. And I
hmm
think, and that's kind of where the veteran thing came from. Like I would love to talk to, high schoolers that are getting ready to graduate, push them out, let them know kind of some experience from like the older generation to us, to the ones that are coming through now, and kind of push them to see like, okay, like the military does not have a should not have a bad rep. They should see the bright side of the military: free education, free healthcare. You get to travel the world and you meet great people. That's the greatest thing of it all. It's just meeting the people in general. I mean, I met you guys, and then I have a bunch of friends that, all over the place. I feel like I could go to every state and actually stay somewhere if I really needed to because I have friends like everywhere.
You know,
And
an
and that's
idea,
just
like, I've thought about it to use for our podcast as well, but you, like, use it as well, like, in your area, go find a recruiter and bring them on board the podcast. Have them talk
yeah,
about
I've
available
thought of that.
opportunities and what's going on in that whole realm right now and, like, options and kinda have them kinda discuss, like, the way ahead and what their future could entail.
Yeah, that I think that's a great idea, especially getting in their mindset of maybe it'll change their recruiting mindset too to help them like push more, recruits her and stuff. Yeah, I like to talk to the veterans. I'm going to get into sports too, since I coach a lot of youth sports. I see a lot of downfall in the youth sports, bad coaches that aren't doing it for the right
You've
reasons,
always been into
coaches.
sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't. I mean, I could talk about college and football. I mean, I love football and stuff like that. But I mean, parents need to understand, like, you should not let anyone just coach your kid because it throws an impact on their kids. I don't teach my kids just how to block or how to make a tackle. I teach them respect. You're not going to back talk. You work hard every day. You push, and they're like, oh, well, they're only 8 and 9 years old. Like, yeah, this is gonna embedded in their head. So when they're in high school, they know they got to work hard. If they go to college, they have to work hard, or in the military. If not, you're just going to sit around and just be lazy. Like, that's not how you get ahead in this life. You have to teach discipline. But so,
Absolutely.
yeah, so sports, going to talk about like the youth sports, a lot of the work industry. I work for a semi truck company. We're going to talk, I want to talk to some of the guys about, what it's like, driving a truck, logistics, and then just, kind of getting people that want to talk about, their relationship, try to push it to where, what's going on in the world right now. I mean, I'm a single guy. It's not easy out here. Nobody wants to get married anymore. Nobody wants that family life anymore, but I have 2 kids. I have to set an example for these kids. I can't be just out there, hoeing around or anything like that. So so I'm just trying to do the right thing. But anyway, so that's kind of where the podcast is going to take off. And obviously I'm going to build from it there, but that's why I called it the Unfiltered Hour. I wanted to generalize in anything and everything people are interested in talking to. One day I might be sitting over here talking about sports. The very next hour I might be talking about, let's break through this depression you have right now. Let's get over it. Let's figure out a way that we can get you back on track and make you a successful person.
Mhm.
That's kind of where we're at.
So have your kids watched any of your videos yet?
Yeah. So my daughter watched the first one and well, my son did too. And they both pretty much made fun of me for it because like my first one, if you watch it, it is hilarious. I watched it 100 times and I can't wait for someone to make a meme out of it. But it's like, welcome to the Unfiltered Hour. My name is Charlie.
My name's
I just
Charlie.
wasn't, I wasn't comfortable because I didn't know the audio, the video.
Yeah.
Like I'm still working on video stuff right now. Right. I was just telling Ryan, I'm
It
going to
takes a
be
while.
ordering stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You are going to be ordering, dude. We have more. We could probably make 2 fucking studios with the shit that I have just here right now. It gets to be like, oh, this is going to be cool. That's going to be cool. This is going to work better. But like, it's just the basics that really just kick off everything, honestly. But you're right. Like, it's so much harder to get on a platform and just start speaking your mind because you're like, man, I don't want to sound like a dumbass. And I don't want to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, when you do know what you're talking about, you just don't know how to put the word from your brain into your mouth and into the speaker. So, and it's so hard to talk to a camera directly. That is like the worst part.
Yeah, it is pretty hard, especially because right now, like I see you guys here, but then I have my laptop here, and it's just got kind of like notes on it. So it's like, do I look at the camera? Do I look at the laptop? The camera? Like, what am I? Is my mouth too far away from the mic? Like, I don't want it too close because that's a terrible meme if somebody gets a mic next to my mouth.
So
So
I
it's
don't
it's
even
just
pay attention
learning.
to the camera. I just watch the screen, and that's where you guys are, so I can see your reactions. It's almost like I'm having a conversation with 2 people.
Yeah. I feel like it's so much easier because like we used to sit here and Ryan and I we would talk to the camera like this and like it was fucking weird to talk to 3 dots and you're like this is fucking lame. So then like you turn it over and like it's such a better outcome that it just becomes more like humanized like where you're able to talk to the
Yeah.
I couldn't sit in a room where just a camera is recording me and just start spilling out and talking to it like a lens. Like I don't know, I just can't do it.
And we go back and we
Yeah,
watch our episodes, and it's like for anybody that thinks
Can
this
we
is
just delete?
easy.
Let's just delete the last like the first 5.
It's difficult, man. It's one like you have to carry the conversation, and like you go back and we'll watch them, and we're like, oh man, I should have let this conversation take me here. Like in hindsight, is 2020.
Yeah.
It's difficult to do, man. It's not easy. Anybody that thinks this is easy, you're more welcome to be a guest. We'll see what you
Yeah.
got.
You'll sit there and like Ryan will be like, and that's where I feel, Sal. And I'm like, yeah. And then there's like a pause. It's like, and then like I have to quickly think about something and I'm like, oh, okay. So I oftentimes like have the things inside my head that I want to ask. And like, so I'm like half listening to Ryan sometimes and I'm like paying attention. And I'm like, wait, remember your point, remember your point, remember your point.
Fuck.
Boom! Fucking dropped.
It's not easy at all. Like I've researched so much stuff, and like if I was a millionaire, this would be pretty simple because there's a lot of stuff I want to buy. I have like an Amazon cart that's like $35,000 right now, and I mean, I'm like, oh man, this looks sweet back here. I found like this little sign that says like on air with like a little
Oh yeah.
timer. I was like, oh man, that'd be kind of cool up there. And then like my daughter comes down and she goes, "You're ridiculous. Like you're a child." I'm like, wait a second, what?
That's so funny that you have people in the fucking stands like heckling you, and those are your people, those are your kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because like Charlie, I still feel like you're 3 doors down in the barracks from me right now. Like I could walk in there and slap your ass or something like that and be like, get to the gym or something like that. Or like we always go on motorcycle rides. So it's so funny to see that in my head, you're still down the hall
Yeah.
and you're still with the
I
same
feel like I
dumb
need to
bull.
walk in the office and yell at you guys for changing the fucking temperature.
Yeah. And then it's funny because then like in my mind, I'm young and in my mind, you're still young, but you have like 12-year-old kids that are like, Dad, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a little
How old are your
preteen
kids now,
and
Charlie?
my daughter's 12 and my son is 8. He'll be 9 in 2 months. And my son is bigger than my daughter. Like
Oh,
he's a
wow.
big
Okay.
boy. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
so
you're
right now he's definitely a big boy. So
right.
he had HSP, which is like a little virus that went through him, but unfortunately, like it kind of messed with his kidney. He had to go on a steroid,
Oh,
Mm.
and
okay.
the poor dude gained like 50 pounds, like
Aw,
fast. But they told him he was gonna have to. But now that he's coming off of it, he's gonna start losing it and everything.
yeah.
But I mean, we embrace it. We embrace it real well. I mean, he knows he's clean. He does work out. I love the kid to death. 8 years old, almost 9. Kid loves to go over to the gym with me, work
Oh, that's
out and
awesome.
stuff. So he's a very motivated little kid and always wants to get better. Like you sports, he wants to get better at it. But yeah, when him and his sister go at it, I mean, it's pretty brutal. You
That's
know,
funny.
he yells, "She stinks. She's this and that," and she calls him a cow. And I'm like, "Oh God, here we go!" Like, and they fight pretty hardcore. They're at that stage, but they're expensive. Holy crap. Kids are expensive.
Dude, it ain't gonna get any easier, bro.
She's like, "I can't wait to have a car." And I'm like, you got 4 years. She goes, "I found a Chevy truck I really want." And I'm like, "Oh, let me see it. I'm all for Chevy. Let's do this." Like 90 grand. I'm like,
Oh
"I
yeah.
think you understand this, but you're probably going to get a station wagon or the Honda CRV that's in the driveway."
So, like, I'll tell you, talking about the kids in the podcast, like, when I had my daughter on for her episode, just recording with her talking about photography, the, I don't think she subscribed to our channel until that day. I was like, "Come on,
Oh, your daughter Jordan? Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah, I saw the podcast. That shit was funny.
I mean, you gotta. I mean, they're at the end of the day, you gotta realize like our kids are probably our biggest fans, but they are gonna roast us the most. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's an opportunity for them to. So why wouldn't they?
I don't have that problem.
Not yet.
I just have my neighbors in my community being like, "Here, you should really
No,
do this. Really stop saying this so much." And I'm like, "Fuck off."
your neighbor probably thinks you're someone new over there with all your new cars.
No, they always know something's up over here. Like, I always have like a block party going on or something like that.
Ain't
It's
nothing wrong with that.
random fucking people just showing up. My door is always open for anybody to come over and hang out and kick it. I keep that, and I call it keeping it 90s. Like, remember there was a time that you had to go knock on your neighbor's door, like your friend's door, and be like, "Hey, can he come out and play?" Like my friends were like, "Hey, you didn't answer your phone. Like, I wanted to hang out." I'm like, "Bro, just come over and just fucking knock on the door. That's what it's there
Yeah.
for." I'm like, "Keep that shit 90s," and they're like, "90s." I like that. I'm like, Keep it fucking 90s, baby. Like,
Those
come on
are
over."
man, that was such a better time too.
Yeah, it was because you didn't know what you were gonna get into that day. All of a sudden your friend has like a new fucking lawn dart kit, and you're like, "Well, shit, guess we're playing lawn darts today."
Guess we're going to the emergency room.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't
and then
see kids outside anymore today.
you almost kill the neighbor's cat. Like, and you don't see kids outside anymore.
Like my kids, I mean, I take my kids outside. I make sure they get outside. Like my son loves to fish and he just got a new dirt bike for Christmas. And I told him, I said, dude, I don't care. This summer, I'll shut the electric off. We're not staying in the house. Like we're going to go outside. We're going to get dirty. You're going to learn new things. Like he got a new pellet gun for Christmas. He got a dirt bike for Christmas. She got a gun for Christmas. They got new fishing poles. And I'm like, I don't care. And my daughter, she's like bougie. She's like this. She's a girly girl. She's nails, hair. And I told her, I said, I don't care. I said, you're going to get dirt under your fingernails and you're going to like it. I don't care. I will push you in the water with the fish. Like you are getting out and you are going to get uncomfortable. Like you need to get uncomfortable to enjoy life.
Yeah.
So
You
being in
know, and
Ohio, like how close are you to Dayton?
so I live in Lebanon. I'm about 20 minutes from Dayton.
Oh, well, see, that's why they don't want to go outside. It smells like dip spit in Dayton.
Very true. Very true. But we do go to other places. Like, so I'm actually 15 minutes away from a lake that my parents go boating on. So we go up there, so we'll go boating and tubing and all that stuff, but we go fishing up there. My son's a really good fisherman. Like he watches YouTube stuff on fishing throughout the winter. He'll
Yeah.
learn new tricks. And then he goes out there and he looks like a professional fisherman, but he looks like a 90-year-old grandpa professional fisherman. He's got like these high water boots. He's got a vest on, this big old round hat. And yeah, honestly, put a chew, in his mouth and a beer in his hand, and you wouldn't even know he was a kid.
Do you
And he's just
remember
like,
you had a boat in upstate New York too? You remember throwing that? Well, we went out on your boat one time, and I
What?
remember
Yeah.
you threw the prop.
Why did you get a fucking boat up
yeah.
there?
So I bought a boat from my grandpa. And I ended up taking it to New York, which you told me, Ryan, you told me, you were like, oh, yeah, man, if you get a boat, we can leave work early and we can go boating. I was
Bad
like,
influence.
well, I'm going to buy a boat. Like, I'll buy a boat. And then I bought this damn boat and we're out there riding around. I've never driven a boat. I've never owned a boat.
Oh,
And
you're
I
so
hit
bad.
the,
It was funny.
I hit the bottom, completely ripped the prop off. And I'm like, oh my God.
On what?
No, it was bad. I guess I hit a rock. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You guys were out
And
there.
then it
like-
caused-
Was there another prop on board? Is that what we ended up having to do, or we just?
Yeah, I had another one
Yeah.
that was on board that we're able to
in
change out.
You guys went to Sackett's Harbor, or where were
Yeah.
you guys at?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sackett's Harbor. It's
Fucking
nice.
Thousand.
I
what
felt
is-
poor because everybody had
Island?
yachts.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
Bayliner or something? Like what was it? It was like a little Sea Ray.
It was a Murata.
Oh, okay.
It was a 21-foot Murata. It was white and green. It was a 99, I think, 97 or 99.
Compared to the yachts that you would see out in Sackett's Harbor and all their bougie boats, like we look like white trash out there. But it was
Oh yeah. It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
But
But
it
it was, I mean,
It was the best
it was
time,
an
though, right?
experience.
It was probably the best.
It was.
ever.
It was. It's funny you mentioned that because so I don't know, do you guys remember Richard Vilfer?
Yeah, I remember. Vilfer.
Okay, so I took that dude out on the boat and he's like, hey man, I want to learn how to wakeboard. I was like, I don't think this is the area to wakeboard, man. Like there's a lot of yachts, a lot of sea-doos. The waves are kind of heavy right now. I'm in this tiny little boat and everybody that passes us looks like a steamline ship. He's like, I'm going to do it. And I'm telling you, he was in the water. I mean, we know how cold it is up there. I mean, it was like
50.
70 degrees. The water was probably like 50.
Yeah.
He's out there freezing, trying to wakeboard. All these yachts are coming by and he gets in. He's like, man, I've never felt so poor and so little in my life. And I'm like, thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks. It was a good time. That's the stuff that you remember.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell guys, get out of the house.
Yeah, Charlie's the one that taught me how to fish, Ryan.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like I had fished before, but like people would always bait my hooks for me and do all this for me. And I
can
remember
see
like we'd never catch anything, fuck off. Yeah, we would never catch anything. And I remember we started fishing in the Black, what was it? The Black River?
Black River,
And-
Watertown.
Oh man. And Charlie
I
was
don't
like,
think I would have eaten anything out of there.
no, and we were catching these fucking big ass pikes, like the size of my length of me. These huge fucking northern pikes, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And he's all, "Oh, that ain't nothing. That's just a little fish. No, but don't worry about that." And I was like, "I don't know how to unhook this." And Charlie's like, "Oh, you got to grab its fin and just slide it back and hold it, and then you're gonna take this fucking hook out of his mouth." And I remember just having like the best time. Like we were on a roll there. Like after work, we'd fucking go down to fish, and then I started catching on, man. And
Oh yeah, we fished a lot.
and it was like $7 every time we fucking broke a Rapella. And we were so fucking broke that we would never go buy like a tackle box. So we'd only like we could only buy like 2 or 3 Rapellas at a time. And then I was like, all right, like this is for today. And then like you'd fucking fling it and it'd get stuck on a rock somewhere. And you'd be like, fuck, I just lost one, like 2 more.
Remember?
Dude.
Do you remember Hubbard?
Oh my God. Yes, I
I
fucking
remember.
remember Hubbard. It was Charlie. I think you're going to have to tell the story about his fucking.
Are you? So
his
you weren't
lure.
okay. So you weren't there when Hubbard was. He wasn't on the team. How do? Oh no, we were in the same company as
Hubbard
him.
was in the third.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
he
So
was,
Hubbard is this
he was a mechanic.
great dude. Yeah, so he's a great dude, this big old burly black dude, right? And like he owned his size, like he was a big guy. And we talked him into coming fishing with us one day. We're like, hey, you want to go fishing? He's like, yeah, man. Like, and he had this like weird, like
And
little for a
like
big guy.
he talks like this, and like he
Yeah.
squints when he talks and answers, and he's yeah, fuck yeah, we're gonna go fishing, fuck it, we're gonna catch something.
Exactly. So we go out there and we go fishing, and he throws his line and his lure gets stuck. And he's like, hey, Charlie, like, how
Okay,
do I get this lure?
hold on. First off, okay, our repellers were this big, right? And they're top floaters. He decides to go to fucking what was it, Gander Mountain, and he got like the big ass sea, like a seaworthy fucking fishing lure, Ryan. Like and it had
Yeah.
4 hooks on it, you know, big as shit.
Not for a river,
No,
maybe an ocean.
yeah,
Maybe an ocean. But he put this big old lure on this like 5-foot fishing pole.
it was an ugly stick.
And I'm like, dude, I'm like, bro, your lure is longer than your fishing pole. But anyway, so this guy's got a real. He's like, hey man, I cast it out and I got stuck. And I'm like, all right, I'm like, just try to, kind of wiggle it, try to get it unloose and everything like that. And I mean, he fought for I'd say 20, 30 minutes. I mean, he just kept going. I'm like, what is this dude? And all of a sudden he's like, I'm not waiting anymore. Thinking he was going to cut the line. This man got in the river, swam over to it, swam down, and literally undid his hook and then reeled it in. And I was like, well, I guess that's one way to do it. And he's like, I paid $7.99 for this. I ain't losing this lure. This is my favorite lure. I was like, dude, you're ridiculous, man. But hey, he enjoyed it. And
That day he was catching pike, like a shit ton of fucking pike, and he was just throwing it in a cooler. And it was like it wasn't oxygenated in there.
So, like,
It
a
was
lot of
filled
you
with
guys
river.
fished up there. Yeah.
It was filled with river water, and he's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna take these things home, put them in my fucking, put it in my aquarium, and I'm like,
yeah,
I open it up, and I'm like, Hubbard, these things are dead.
So, like, I remember you guys used to tell fishing stories and go fishing all the time. Like where I lived out in Sackett's Harbor one day, I was coming across a bridge out Route 3, and I see this kid that looks like he's homeless, like he needs a ride. And I stop and I roll the window down, and it's Ray Smallwood.
Shut up.
Oh,
I was like, bro, what are you doing?
Small
He's like, he's like, Chief, I'm fishing. I was like, all right, bro. Like, you look homeless walking across this bridge. Where's your car? He's like, oh, I parked it.
that is hilarious.
Fucking race.
That's hilarious. He's a truck driver now.
Yeah, dude, he stopped in once. He stopped once.
Yeah, he's a truck driver. He was in Cincinnati. I was trying to get him to come work at the company I was at, but I guess he wanted to stay over the road. And I think he's out in like Colorado.
Yeah, I think he's in Colorado or something.
Yeah, Colorado. That is like the nicest guy in the whole world.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
if anyone ever fucks with Ray Smallwood, I'll fucking gut you like a
good
fish.
dude. Definitely, he's got this like he's got this country look to him. Now. He's got like this big old like beard, the Duck Dynasty beard. I think the last picture I saw him, he had like a cowboy hat on, and I was like, what? Like, when did this dude like, embrace his inner cowboy and stuff? But no, he's doing really good.
That's my little buddy right there for sure.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
We had a paddock of fucking funny ass characters that were our clique in that place. A villa. We got out there like, oh my God. There's just the fucking stories like that show The Office. It was like The Office. And it was just constant fucking bullshit. And I can't believe that we were getting paid by the military to be there, and that Ryan let it go for so long, or that Mr.
But the thing
that he didn't disband.
I mean, we got the job done though. I mean, that was the thing is we always got the job done.
Yeah, we did a lot of good stuff up there. And
it was so crazy when they would come on and they were like, your guys' office is like ranked number one
drug team
in the entire Army right now. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, man, for all the crap we do and we're number one, like these other offices, man, they really got to suck because we fuck around a lot, But I mean, we always got done. We always did our job, but we had fun doing it. That was the most important thing. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had fun doing every operation.
That's the way it should be in life. Like you can't take that shit too serious, You gotta find humor in everything, and you gotta make it fun. And if you're gonna be there anyways, make it worthwhile for sure.
Yeah.
So Charlie, you should have like a panel of some of those guys on board, and like bring Brian. We need to get Brian.
Oh my God, Brian.
I did. I actually spoke. Have you guys spoke to him?
Not recently, but one of the podcast episodes where we talked about him, I created a reel and he shared it.
He sends me nasty memes that I
So
can't relate.
yeah, he sends me a lot of stuff too, and a lot of funny stuff. But I mean, I know he's married, he's got kids. I think they just
Mhm.
started a business.
I think it's like a house cleaning.
It's yeah, I think it's like a house cleaning business or like a commercial cleaning business and stuff.
Yeah.
Which that industry is actually taking off a lot, really big. But yeah, I know that, and I mean, he seems like he's doing great. Married with kids, and every time I sit there
Somebody I
and think, I'm
never
like,
thought would be
Ryan,
married with children. Fuck wrong with
Oh,
no.
you.
man.
No, like I want to meet his wife because I want to be like, I just want to see the
Who
type
hurt
of
you?
person that puts up with him. I just want to know what kind of person puts up with him because he's the goofiest guy I know.
But he's the most kind-hearted guy ever.
Yeah.
Oh, very, very kind hearted, very smart, loving, and that man will take his shirt off for you.
Mhm.
And that's the great
Right.
thing. But
He was walking around the office with his shirt off
that's true. That is very
in
true. He was a
loafers.
big wrestling fan,
Yeah.
which I
loafers.
still have your photo, Ryan, of you holding two WWE belts.
WWE belts.
Oh yeah, he was like that.
Right after we got done with one of our missions and everything, and you're like holding the belts in your suit with your glasses on. Yeah,
Fucking wild.
but no,
Time.
there was some pretty wild times. I don't know how we didn't end up in jail.
Charlie, you have to tell the story about us going to. We went to Rome. No, we went down to where was it? Not Rochester,
Syracuse.
Syracuse. Ryan, we didn't tell
Are you
you.
talking about?
Yeah. I don't think we've ever told anybody the story outside of
Are you
like.
talking about Lieutenant Atkins? Look, listen. There's a reason I don't tell this story, and it's because of where I woke up.
Oh,
And listen,
was he nice?
I'm not gay. I am not gay. Okay, first of all. All right, so let me just say that. All right, so
There's so much to this story. It's hilarious. From the very beginning, it's just debauchery, and then to the very end,
I don't even know how. Like when was it when we first got the drum?
we were a part of the third. Lieutenant Atkins he had just come in from OCS, and he got stuck with us, and he wanted to do like platoon bonding situation, and and he was about our age, right, Charlie? Because we were older than most
Yeah.
people, like most people in our platoons.
Yeah, he was already. He was like he played college football and stuff. So how like he's like.
Well,
a
I
partier.
remember because the house that I rented in Sackett's Harbor, he lived there with
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Remember
right.
He
Yeah,
dropped his motorcycle trying to pick it up that one day.
I remember
A
that.
little
Oh,
victory. Yeah.
Victory bike, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we decided to go out as a platoon. It was almost like not an entire platoon size element, but like it was like the cool kids that hung around with us. We all decided to go out to Syracuse, and we got so lit. And I remember him. We got so drunk that night, Charlie. Like we were getting split up between different fucking places, and we all met up. We all met up eating pizza, and then it was time to go home. And like
Worst car ride ever.
Syracuse was still like an hour and a half to 2 hours away from where we were stationed. And well, you tell that part of the story, Charlie.
So we started to leave Syracuse. Well, first of all, I kept getting called a hillbilly. They're like, get in your truck and go back north, and I'm like,
Hell
dude,
yeah.
I'm like, you're a New Yorker. Like, chill, like, calm down, right? So anyway, I'm pretty sure we were in a Ford Ranger, and there was like 5 of us, and nobody. I mean, obviously they couldn't fit all of us.
Yeah, like the
So
rides left early. That's right.
yeah, and I remember laying in the back of the bed of this truck underneath a toolbox, like to stay warm because there was snow on the ground.
Yeah,
it was like late November, December.
So the full cab was up front, was like one of those Ford Rangers, like where it barely had space in the back but it was like filled with gear. And the two or three spots up front were taken. And then there was 6 of us. And Lieutenant Atkins, myself, and Charlie were in the back of this fucking Ford Ranger.
Huddling.
And it
Froze my ass off.
it's probably like
The worst.
It's probably like negative 15, negative 20 degrees and plus wind chill. And we're back there. We're just like fucking dying. And we're like, I think it's like 15 minutes into a fucking 2-hour car ride. And it started getting real fucking gay, man, because we were fucking just huddling back there, like trying to blow hot air into each other's faces to keep each other warm.
Dude, like the field instincts kicked in. Like, come here, let's
Take your
snuggle.
boots
We're gonna
off. Let's
snuggle.
rub our feet
At
together.
one point, I banged on the cab, and I was like, Stop.
We ain't gonna make it.
I was like, I'm not gonna make. So I fucking like jumped over the front passenger seat and like slid into the back of the fucking that compartment where all the gear was at, and I just fucking fell asleep back there. I was like, all right, let's go. And I fucking ditched Charlie and Lieutenant Atkins in the back.
We stayed in the bed of that truck the entire ride, and there was no
Oof.
cover. Like, it was wide open. We stayed there the entire ride, and we ended up back at his house.
Yeah.
And so I remember, I'll never forget, we walked into his house, and I think I saw 30 kegs and just beer cans everywhere. And I was like, okay, if you ever yell at me for my barracks room being dirty again, like, you dirty.
Which that's the
Like,
house
you
that
just,
I ended up taking.
No, we
right?
woke up. We woke morning.
no, this was an apartment. This
Oh,
was like,
okay.
this was like when he first moved there. Like, it was a small apartment. And I think he had 3 other lieutenant roommates.
We-
And I mean, there was just beer everywhere. And I was like, God Lord, like, what is going on? And then that's the last I remember. But I woke up. When I woke up, I was in bed. I was in a bed. But I had my clothes on. I had my shoes on. I had everything on. I was not naked.
I was sleeping in a
And
closet. I was asleep.
he was in a closet.
I was inside of a closet.
I like woke up and I was like, dude, somebody's in the shower. I was like, where am I?
Oh yeah, we didn't know.
I was like, dude, and I wasn't walking funny. So I was like, all right, I'm good. Like, I didn't get raped. But then Lieutenant Atkins walked out and I was like, okay, now I remember getting, now I remember kind of getting to his house and everything and stuff, which means, he kind of took care of us and everything, which is really cool. But then I remember walking around, I'm like, where's Sal? And then I hear something rumbling around and I'm like, what the hell? And here comes Sal. He like opens the door. He's like, bro, like, oh, what happened?
Sal came out
I'm
the
like, why are you
closet.
in the closet? It's like, why are you in the closet? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't know. And then like out of nowhere, he's like, you want to go to McDonald's and get 3 Big Macs? I'm like, what?
Fucking food.
Dude, we walked probably 5 miles from his house to the McDonald's on that main road by Post
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
couldn't find a ride.
No.
And I wasn't married at the time, so I was probably when I first got there. And he was like, walked up, he's like, I'll take all the water you have and 3 Big Macs and 3 large fries. And he's like, what do you want, bro? And I was like, you're gonna eat all that? Like, dude, you're like 5'9", 130 pounds. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, that was a rough night.
We
Good
had,
times.
we
A
had
rough night.
fucking wild times, man. There's just things I cannot repeat, but it was so funny because we were violating all dash everything, like all the military, like UCMJ. Yeah, we should have been kicked out because we violated everything.
But I guarantee
minus the drugs and minus like anything like heinous. Yeah, we never did anything.
Well, that's what I mean. We didn't do anything stupid. We didn't drink and drive. We didn't do drugs. We didn't like kill anybody. I mean, yeah, we probably hung out with people because, in the military, like if you're a certain rank, you're not supposed to hang out with higher ranks. Right. But we kept it professional at work.
Yeah.
We got the job done, but we played after work and stuff. And I mean, I remember some wild. I remember being hammered at your house, Ryan, going freaking karaoke, singing. Your son started singing Eminem and he's like rapping out and we're all so drunk. We're like, bro, you could go professional. Like, that was a good time too. Yeah. That was
We had a lot of
night,
bonfires out in Sackett's Harbor.
a lot, but you had the perfect place for it.
I had 3 acres up there.
Yeah, it was a lot of land.
Yeah.
I remember Brian just wanting to go over your house and mow the lawn.
But he would, so
And lay
Brian would
mulch.
come over and
And
just
mulch.
mulch. He did. He came over and like one morning I woke up and I took a cup of coffee and I'm out on the deck and I'm like, who is this in my driveway? And Brian's out there in his house shoes. He's just laying mulch. He's just getting after it. He's like,
He slept there the night. He's like, we're laying mulch tonight.
He's like, oh, it's gonna be real great. You're just gonna have to, and we're gonna invest a little bit of time, and it's gonna be, we're gonna dial
Brian,
this
if you're
in.
watching, we love you.
We do love you. And we guarantee you're still laying mulch.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, like he took pride in that. He's like,
What is this? This is like some kind of a Kentucky bluegrass, maybe.
He was a worker too, though.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
He was definitely he was a worker. Like he definitely was a worker. He used to help me out a lot with a lot of stuff. And I remember him being at your house, and then he'd go into work and work hard. And like I went to his house in Rhode Island, and he would help his parents out there. And I mean, when he was there, sun up, sun down, like he was always trying to stay busy, helping them out and do anything. So he was definitely a worker. I mean, he didn't really I don't think he really liked the military side of things. Like, 'cause,
No,
you try to push him through the promotion and he's like, nobody wants to get promoted. Nobody wants that extra work. I'm just going to stay where I'm at now. But like outside the military, he like really worked. I mean, he was good at what he did in the military, but he was like ready to go.
But he's a very thoughtful guy too. Like I remember he went
Yeah.
on vacation to like Aruba, and he came back. I still have this Aruba license plate. I don't know if he stole it off a car, but he brought me an Aruba license plate. I have it around here somewhere.
He did. I have one too. He did. He did. Because I was sitting there looking at it and I was like, hey, man, I was like, this looks like where the bolts go. He's like, yeah, to take it off the front of the car. He's like, Ryan got the back one. And I was like, oh, thanks. Glad you thought of
They
us when
don't
you
need
stole it.
license plate.
Yeah. But he goes a lot. He goes to Aruba a lot.
Oh yeah, like he saves up he would save up. He would live really frugal so he could save up and just go to Aruba and just party it up and live it up out there.
But I mean, that's what you should do, isn't it? Isn't that something like everybody should do? They should travel.
Yeah, I would have never had these times had I not joined the military and been put in that fraternity of brothers. I remember this fucked up one time, Charlie. Fuck you for this. To this fucking day, fuck you.
Here we go.
So Charlie hits me up and he's like, hey man, I'm fucking riding home from fucking Ohio and I'm by myself. I'm on my crotch rocket.
Gosh.
And I was like, and at the time I had my crotch rocket that I had driven up there from California. Charlie's like, hey man, can you meet me somewhere? I'm dying, man. I need somebody to ride with. And I was just like, yeah, man, well, where are you at right now? And he's like, I'm going to be in Rochester in 2.5, 3 hours. And I was like, fuck, dude. I woke up in the middle of the fucking night and
Rochester was a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, and I rode down to Rochester and I'm sitting off the highway and I'm like sitting there waiting like I'm on an off ramp because he says he's on this fucking highway and he's gonna be coming, you know. And at the time we didn't have smartphones just yet, so like we couldn't do like GPS tracking.
No,
we didn't have GPS tracking on each other, and I thought so. He's just pulling over and then texting and then updating me or whatever, and we weren't on the same fucking highway, Ryan.
Okay, so first of all, how it happened. So how it happened was, okay, so from Watertown, where we were stationed at Fort Drum, to my house in Cincinnati to visit my parents was 12.5 hours. About 12.5 hours.
Fuck.
So my platoon sergeant at the time was like, hey, everybody's on a 4-day. I was like, can I put in a pass so I can leave? And they're like, no, it's too late. I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going to go. I got a bike. It's nice. I'm going to ride. I'm just going to go. Terrible idea. Stupid idea. I rode my motorcycle literally 12 hours from Watertown. Like if it was a cruiser, I'd be cool.
Yeah.
But like a crotch rocket, I almost died. And I literally rode it from Watertown to Cincinnati, stayed for a couple of days. I think it was a Sunday. And my platoon sergeant texted me. He goes, hey, we're getting recalled. Someone got a DUI. And I was like, man, like I have to get back. Like, how am I going to I have to get back like now. How am I going to they want to send in like 2 hours. I'm 12 hours away right now. So I literally jump on, my bike and everything. And my brother-in-law followed me to Cleveland. So, and he was like, are you good from here? And I was like, no, not really. Not really. I text Sal and I was like, hey man, I need you to meet me in Rochester. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't think I can make it. Like, I got to get back. I think you were in like the 511 at the time. And he's like, yeah, sure. I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah. So, and when I tell you, like, I was like stopping to text him, I eventually got to the point to where I was like, man, if I would have just kept going, I probably would have made it back. But now I got to find Sal because I told Sal where I was and I'm not there. He's waiting for me.
Bro.
It's in the middle of the night and I'm trying to get back so I can make it to I literally drove all the way on the bike to Post to go to the recall. And I was the last one there. And the first sergeant's like, you're the last one we're waiting. We've been waiting almost a day for you. Where have you been? And me, stupid, I was like, my phone was off. I lived in the barracks. Like I couldn't say, yeah, I was sleeping in the barracks. Like my platoon sergeant knew I was not in that state. He looked at me and he was like, we're going to talk after. And I was like, I'm sure we are. It was rough. It was rough. But luckily for Sal, thank you. I do remember that. That was a terrible, terrible time, but you stepped up.
Fuck.
And you were there for me.
Ryan, I'm sitting in Rochester and he's all, hey man, I'm just passing fucking Iron Block Harley Davidson. And I was like,
I passed him.
Iron Block
81.
I'm like off of 80. Yeah. And I'm like, that's like an hour and 30 minutes past me. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I passed him.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, I ended up passing him and everything. And I felt so bad.
I had a ride in the middle of the night from Rochester by myself all the way back to Post.
What? It was a good ride though, right?
Oh, sure. Fucking nice and cold.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But that's what we would get into. We would get into these dumb dumb little things, but it's a memory that lasts for a lifetime. And I can sit there right now, Ryan, and I remember what the off ramp looks like. I remember the Target that I went to go get an energy drink, and I remember just the feeling of everything. I can remember just 100%. I'm just right back there right now, and I'm just as pissed. And you will never, you'll never have that. You'll never have that if you don't have that camaraderie with people. Like, and I
Join the military, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking for a career, you're fresh out of high school, you're looking for opportunities, join the military.
Oh,
The military is definitely it. Because I'm telling you right now, I could get a phone call from either of you or some of my other buddies I was with right now, and they'd say, "Hey, I need you here. I've got this going on. I really need you here." I would be in my car. I would literally be in my car or on a plane or something, and I would get there. I would figure a way out to
and
get
we
there.
would do these things for each other, knowing that there was some penance to pay afterwards, that we were going to get in trouble for just being a homie and a brother to fucking reach out and be there. And you're like, I'm supposed to be at work in the morning. And I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll get in trouble.
Yeah. My favorite.
Anywhere else in the world.
I mean, my favorite thing is like when you're a private, you're like a baby private, and then like your friend gets in trouble and you're not there, you get in trouble for not being there. But then if you're there, you're going to be in trouble because you were there. And you're just like, holy shit, like, what the hell do they want from us? And then you kind of realize like, oh, all they were doing was building a bond for us. They were kind of teaching us how to be a brother and build that bond. So like once you like progress in the military, like you're hard on soldiers, but you're not hard on soldiers because you're just an asshole. Well, some people are, but you're trying to build them up and make them a better soldier, open their eyes, let them grow up and let them understand like, hey man, you can have fun and still do your job and be great at it.
Yeah, like
just don't get caught.
Yeah, like Charlie was there for me. You were married at the time, and you only had your dog at the time. You didn't have any kids yet, and you were there for me. Like I had to get shoulder surgery on my right shoulder, and I was like, well, I live by myself. I'm like, fuck. And Charlie was like, don't worry about it, brother. I'll fucking go drop you off and pick you up and it'll be fine. And then I stayed with Charlie for like 5 or 6 days, just doped up on the couch.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember taking you to the hospital. And then I remember I remember you laying there after surgery and you were getting ready to wake up. And literally you woke up and you had your little gown on. And I don't know if you knew where you were or what, but you moved it. And the doctor's like, oh, Mr. Sal, your wanker's hanging out there. And I'm just sitting there like, all right, kind of awkward. Cool. It was just so awkward and everything. And then I was like, yeah, you can come stay at my house, but you got to put on clothes, brother. Like, you can't be walking around naked.
Yeah. Like nowadays is like, if you hit up like your coworker and be like, hey man, can you pick me up and like, let me stay at your house? Like they'd be like, what the fuck? Like what? I got to take care of you. But in the military, it was like, yeah. Well, somebody's got to take care of you, like it wasn't even a question. You would just be like, oh yeah, I'm doing it. I remember, I remember people had girlfriends living in closets inside the barracks.
Oh yeah. So let me ask you guys this: with speaking of the military, and you guys were both law enforcement and everything after the military, sorry, I had to mess with the mic. Is the brotherhood like the same?
No.
Like, would you? No.
It is not.
No, it's sad.
Like even after I
people are.
retired, like I jumped right into a local police department here, and I was thinking more or less like, all right, I want to be able to continue to serve. Like I'm not serving my country anymore, but I want to serve my community at least. And I thought, like this type of job, this type of environment, it's got to put you back into like a brotherhood type deal. And so like on the shift that I was on, they were made like 6 of 12 of us were all people within my higher group. Most of those were veterans. So that like veterans immediately clicked. And so that brotherhood does exist amongst the veteran population of those career fields. But outside of being a veteran, it's not really apparent, man. It's not the same thing.
It's not there.
So when you got so let me ask this. So when you guys got out, and this is something I struggled with like really hard. When you got out, like how did you guys find that purpose? Like what, like you know what I mean? Like when you were in the military, you felt like you had a purpose. You had brothers, you had sisters around. You could count on literally everybody around you to always be there for you. So when you got out, like, and I know a lot of veterans struggle with this, like how did you find your purpose on the outside without the military in your life?
I mean, for me, that's a difficult to answer because I still don't think I've found it yet. But that's okay. Like sometimes So I'm a Christian, I believe, and but I think certain times that you're in seasons and you may not have a purpose at all. Maybe God's purpose for your life right then is to find rest and discernment and kind of process some things and some life choices that you've made. Like I believe that you'll get to your purpose, but you may not always be in a season where you're exercising within your purpose.
So how do you get around that though? Like, okay, so the reason I ask, and this is another probably episode I'm going to do, is it's about like depression,
I mean,
and stuff, and it's a very uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people. But I got out. I was depressed. Like I was extremely depressed. I hated life. I hated everything that was going on. I could not figure out what I wanted to do. I didn't know, do I go to college? Do I join a police academy? Do I go to a trade school? Like, what do I do with my life? Like, I have nobody to tell me what to wear, what to do, what time to be. Like, no more motor pool Monday. Like, no more briefings. Like, it was just, you know, and I was just like, I felt like I had all the time in the world and I didn't know what to do with it. Like, because I just wanted to be back in the military. I wanted to be with my friends. I wanted to be with, out in the field with everybody, or whether we're on a mission or in the office or something. Like, I was lost. And like,
well, I mean,
I'm
you're
telling you,
lost
so I
because you
got,
didn't have the brotherhood. I'm like, it's easy to have purpose when you have some other person giving it to you, like in the military. So your purpose was your job, and fulfillment was successful mission, so on and so forth, right? So it's easy to have purpose when your purpose is literally laid out for you. Finding purpose in life is a little bit more difficult because then you have to figure out, all right, what are my talents? What am I good at? And then start looking at avenues in which you can use your talents to to the best of your ability and maybe find your purpose that way. Some people may go through life and they may never have found their absolute purpose. Um, I think, uh, but that kind of gets into a different conversation about like happiness and contentment. Like
yeah.
even though I'm not there right now, like I don't think I found my purpose because there's a part of me that thinks that all right, that depression that you talk about is real. I remember when I retired, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe my best years are behind me. Maybe my purpose on this earth has already been fulfilled. So what do I do with the rest of it? So those are real thoughts that go through your head. But then it kind of leans towards are you just gonna have to learn to be content and to be happy, and you may not be doing exactly what you want at the time, but again, what are your talents? What are your God given gifts? How do you use those?
Yeah, and I mean, I think it also comes down to like, like you said, it's like kind of where you're at in life, like, your happiness and stuff like that. But like that's the other thing I want to get on and like talk about when on another episode is, I think it's very important that we do talk about like depression and helping people like understand like you are depressed, but we can get you past this and try to get you to where you feel like, there's a purpose for you. Even if it's something small. Like me, like right now, if I did my everyday life, it's boring. I work out, hang out with my kids, coach sports, cook dinner, go home. That's probably like 90% of like the world's
Right.
problems right now. But someone like a veteran coming out of it, like I've always like thought like I want to continue to, network and reach out and kind of help out and see where I can. And that's kind of where the podcast also started to come from too. Cause it's like, most people you just need to sit down and have a conversation. And I think the more you talk about it and you hear like what's going on with your own life or other people around you that can connect with you, it's going to help them. And I think it's going to kind of open their eyes and it's going to make them kind of realize like, hey, I'm not the only one out here. Like if I just, set a goal, keep fighting to reach for it, you're going to fail. Understand failure is not the end. It's just a small little bump. And then once you get past all that and you learn and you see this success, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all worth it.
So prime example, like when I retired, I'm gonna be honest, I got super depressed when I retired from the military. Like that's for 26 plus years, that's all I knew. And so like I panicked. I jumped right into I was like, all right, what am I good at? I knew what I was good at already. I was good at being a cop. So let me go do that. And so I jumped right onto a local department and I was like, all right, these are my gifts. These are what I'm good at. These are my talents. So let me leverage those and see if I can. And I was chasing happiness. I was chasing purpose. I did not find it. So finally, I was like, all right, well, maybe my purpose is beyond this right now. Maybe this is not for me. Like maybe it's time to let this go and to find out what my next journey is. And so I'm still chasing that. You know what I mean? And that's part of the journey.
Yeah, but I do think you're on track for your purpose. And I think a lot of people are lost. And I think you try new things. You're not scared to get out of your comfort zone. And same with you, Sal. Like, man, you're killing it out there.
Oh, thanks.
I'm telling you right now, just the stuff that I see with the canine and just everything that you're doing, like it's pretty motivating to see the success you've had after the military.
Yeah.
And you're a prime example of somebody I would share stories about to like the youth generation. Like, look, if you do 5 years, you get out, you don't like it, don't stop.
Yeah.
It's not over. You serve your community. I see the canine that you work with all the time. I see all the training you're going through and everything. And I know your job's not easy. I know it's not easy, but it's very rare to find people that stick to it
Yeah.
as long as you have.
I appreciate that, Charlie. It means a lot coming from you. And Ryan too. I think I avoided depression because maybe I'm just too stupid to understand what I was going through. If I'm going to be fucking honest, and I'm always going to be honest here. With the help of Sarah, Perry, and Ryan, they allowed me to do the perfect transition to law enforcement. I'm going to be honest, like there was a huge risk leaving the military for law enforcement because I had an idea of what law enforcement in the civilian sector was going to be like. And I was putting all my eggs in that basket saying like, hey, and once I got there and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, I was like, well, I'm already fucking here. Got to make it fucking work, because I can always go back to the military, but let me just see this through. It was about 9 years that when it hit me and I was like, man, I'm not happy where I'm at. And I was really kind of pushing off because I didn't have the brotherhood. And so I was like, I just kept myself busy is what it was. I was just like, I was so fucking busy with everything with like bodybuilding and the law enforcement that I found those purposes.
Busy means distracted.
And I was a distraction. And I was keeping
100%.
keeping myself distracted with all these other things where the way I looked at it was like, okay, this will be what pays for the bills. This is the job that's going to pay for my house and my car and my food and my insurance and things like that. And I'm like, okay, what are the things that make me truly happy? And it's like, I love building cars. I love running. I love fitness, and I love traveling and trekking and all these other little things and like cutting hair and like I just kind of dove into those things, and I was keeping myself occupied with the things that I love to do on my time off. And I was burning the wick on both ends really. And it was starting to burn me out where I was like, I started thinking about that 1/3 method that I cling on to. And it's like you sleep a third of your life, you work a third of your life, and you live a third of your life. And some people say that some of the old people in history used to only sleep like 3 or 4 hours a day. And I was like, I think I was sleeping like 8 or 9. And I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to start sleeping 6 hours. And then that allowed me to do more things and more things and more things. And like, I got to a point where I fucking got burned out. And I was like, look, I better love law enforcement or I'm going to make a change here. And I took a chance in switching to a different department, different agency altogether, different style of policing. I went from being a city cop to a county sheriff deputy, and my world changed 100%.
It's totally
And
different too.
it changed 100%. Just yesterday, the sheriff was like, "Hey, do you want to come and have lunch?" And I was like, "Sure." And first thing I do, I walk in and he gives me the biggest fucking hug, like gives me a big bear hug and just holds on to me. And he's like, "How you doing?" And he's like, "I heard about your mom, heard about this, heard about that, And I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing good." He's like, "Well, if you need time, just go home right now." And I'm like, "No, I'm good." But like, I found a brotherhood again, and it wasn't immediate. Like I had to fight for those things. And sometimes you don't know what life is going to throw at you. I think my purpose is to help people. I'm not tech savvy. I'm not, maybe I could be a motivational speaker, but who the fuck is going to listen to me? Because it's just going to be filled with a lot of the F word and you're lazy and you're fat and get off your ass.
I listen to you every day, so
Oh, thanks. But yeah, like so I don't have that platform that I could do that. But this platform is that for me, law enforcement where I get to put, foot to ass in the problems of this world where like I can make a small dent every day and make my life count. And that's just for me. It's what it is for me. It's not for everybody, but I feel like it does give me purpose knowing that I helped somebody that day or fix something for somebody else. But it's not who I am. This is who I am right here. It's doing this. Like I've noticed that I like this is my only day off today and we're doing this twice today. And people are like, "Man, like you're going to take a day off?" And I'm like, I was working 4 days just so I can come over here and do this right now. Like, so I think people just need to understand that life isn't always going to be what you think of it in your head. It can be for a select few, you know, if you throw all your chips in one bag and God hope God help you. Like I hope it works. But oftentimes like you work a 9 to 5 that's not your passion. You're good at it, but it's not your passion. But what you do afterwards can be passionate. And it can be everything that you want in this world, you know? Like shit, I want to be a fucking helicopter pilot, bro. Like I don't have the time to go.
Hell yeah.
I don't have the time. Like
Hell yeah.
if something happens to me, like that's the first place I'm going. Like if I get fired or if I can't do law enforcement anymore, I'm going straight to pilot school. Like I don't care how much it costs. I'll fucking take a second on the mortgage. I don't give a what. I'm like I will get behind the stick of a fucking Huey one day and just fucking.
I think you should do it anyways.
No, trust me. Like it's already like I've already been trying to figure this all out with the time that I have and whatnot. But like trust
I mean,
me,
I'll
it's
hang
coming.
off the side, but I'm not flying.
It's coming, and those are the wild, crazy ideas that I have for myself. And
Can
and
you
no one ever.
podcast on a helicopter?
What's that? Yeah, fuck yeah, you can. We'll make it happen.
That would be sweet.
But yeah, long story short, Charlie, like I'm too stupid to know that I was in depression, and I was just distracted with everything. But yeah, I definitely fought through depression for sure, and luckily that for a fact, like I can't drink alcohol, Charlie. Like me and alcohol don't mix because it's either going to be a really fun time or it's going to be like 5 days of recovery. And so that was never an avenue for me to sit there and drown myself in or get fat and stuff because I was so vain about myself that I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fucking go to the gym and like just avoidance, right, Ryan? Like it's would you call it? You know, it's avoidance. So hey guys, avoidance worked for me. I don't know about you guys.
We don't encourage that.
No, do not avoid
I don't
it.
encourage
Do not.
avoiding it, but you have to have an outlet. So don't just work a shit job and be unhappy with it. Like it might pay great, money, and it might facilitate a lot of things for you. But like, make sure those things afterwards are everything that you want to do in this world. That's
And
all it is.
alcohol should not be an outlet. That's not I remember
No.
like even when I was on patrol, I would I wouldn't drink on the days that I was working, but like on the days that I wasn't working, I think every day I was drinking, and I never got drunk, but I would just every day I was consuming alcohol,
Yeah.
and I'm a day drinker. I'm 40 something years old. Like I was one of those guys that at noon would crack a beer. Like all right, cool, but then I would allow that to take charge of my day. It would ruin the rest of my day. So there was no going to the gym after that. There was no, you know what I mean? And so anything that I had productive wise lined up was gone. And you
Mhm.
lose a day. Next thing you know, you lose 2 days, you lose 3 days. Next thing you know, a week or a month is gone. And you're like, man, I have done absolutely nothing that I really could have done.
Mhm.
So just be careful with alcohol when it comes to
Yeah.
like depression.
And I just want to put it out there that at the time, from the minute I got out of the military, I was allotted to go to the VA for like counseling and whatnot. And I took advantage of that. So guys, don't think I was just coming home and harboring all this inside my head. Like at some point or another, my mind still works like a mechanic, and knowing that everything needs to get greased and oiled and lubricated and adjusted. And same thing with my mind. So like I was constantly at least twice a week. I mean, like they were offering it. They were like, hey, you want to come in for counseling? And I'm like, shit, well, we just talked about all this stuff on Monday. And they're like, well, come on Wednesday and fucking unload some more. And like, be like, all right. And sometimes I wouldn't even bitch about shit about law enforcement or I'm sorry, like military or Afghanistan. I wouldn't bitch about any of that stuff. I'd be like, I got a fucking bone to pick. I got a bone to pick about my goddamn fucking my job or this or fuck man, like problems or just whatever. Like it wasn't just, it didn't just have to be one thing like associated with the military to go to counseling. I would unload all the time, and it fucking helps.
But but let me ask you this: did it help?
Yeah.
You sitting down actually talking to somebody?
Yeah,
Did it help?
like Ryan said, like sometimes he'd go and he would just be mentally fucking exhausted. Like afterwards, it would help. And it helps to have a counselor that's going to be objective at times, as well, not just be like, yeah, you know what, you're right. Fuck everyone, fuck the world. Like it sounds like you're doing everything you need to be doing. Like no, like you need somebody to kind of go in there and be like, hey, buddy, you have anger issues. And you can't expect everybody else to live up to your expectations, even though your standards are super high and you're doing well, good things for everybody else. You can't expect them to do those things for you. So you're going to just let yourself down. And you're like, fuck you for being right now.
It's hard, like, but you need that. You need someone to play devil's advocate. You need somebody to kind of just tell you just straight up that. And honestly, it's crazy you said that because like the show that I'm creating is kind of, it's actually exactly like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you out of your comfort zone. I'm going to tell you some pretty hard truths, or I might, kind of say some things that you might not like or whatever, but it's not anything to degrade you, put you down or anything like that. It's kind of get you to open your eyes like, okay, like it's time to take some ownership.
Yeah.
Let's fix this depression. Let's fix this mindset you have, and let's get you disciplined, take ownership of your life, and let's freaking enjoy the time we have left. Nobody knows when this life is over. So just go enjoy it.
I think people,
You know?
I think,
I mean, look,
I think people
go ahead.
know exactly what's fucking wrong with them. I do. Like, I know that people know what's wrong with them. They just don't want to admit what's wrong with them because it's embarrassing to admit what's wrong with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
So when
Yeah.
people say like, I don't know what's wrong with me, like you fucking know what's wrong with your relationship. Like you know exactly what's wrong with everything. Like you just don't want to disclose that and feel embarrassed about holding that so high, whatever it is. It could be a fucking fetish or something like that, or it could be alcohol, or it could be whatever it is that is not letting you be true to yourself, and it's festering, and you're putting it on everything else out there. Like you're just fucking blaming everything else except for that one thing.
Well, that and people, they don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
They're afraid that if they come out and say, "Well, I'm an alcoholic," or, this or that, they're going to get judged by everybody. But it's like I tell everyone out there, like nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect out there. We all have a past. We all done things we're not proud of. People can, I believe, my opinion, people can change. People can change for the better.
100%.
It takes work. It takes work. It takes dedication and everything. I mean, you're not going to change in a day. So if like you come to me tomorrow and you're like, I'm a completely different person.
Oh
No,
my
you're not.
God.
Work on yourself, focus on you, keep pushing yourself, and you're going to get there.
Yeah.
So like before I retired, I started counseling, and I did counseling for 18 months before I retired. It's probably one of the best things I ever did. But I was very adamant. A lot of people were like, like we have all these veteran counselors and so on and so forth. I was, you know what? I kind of don't want a fucking veteran, to be honest, right? Because I didn't want to run the risk of sitting in a room and talking with somebody who is going to help me further justify my thought process.
Right.
Because you know what I mean? So I wanted somebody with a totally different perspective that was going to be like, no, you're an idiot. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's what I needed to hear.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Like you're not going to get better by somebody saying like everything that you're doing is the right thing. Like you only get better when people are picking your flaws and like exposing your flaws to you and saying,
I
okay,
don't need
well,
validation.
you can work on these things.
Yeah.
And it's okay because we're all human and we all have our fucking problems and stuff. I just really think just people are just embarrassed and fuck everybody else. Like it's embarrassing. Well, whatever. Like you're not paying my bills. Like so whatever. Just be true to yourself. But yeah, you can, Charlie. You can fix yourself. You can. You just have to be honest. And that's I think.
I do. I work on a lot of things for myself. I've
not-
changed quite a
not
bit in the
just-
past few years.
Not just
No, I know that, but I'm saying like for myself, like I have changed. I went through a dark path and I was doing some things I'm not proud of. There's a lot of things like when I was married that I wish I would have done better and stuff, but her and I get along now great. So I can't really argue about that stuff, but there's a lot of things in my life that I'm like, man, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be the person I am today. But the reason I am is because I own up to it. I accept it.
Yeah.
I don't let anyone bring it down. Somebody can mention something about my past that is bad, and I'm like, dude, I don't even
Ask
care.
one to
That's
find
over.
you,
It's
buddy.
done. Yeah, and that's kind of the way that I look at life now. I'm gonna take risk. This year is all about risk for me. I'm gonna do things that I never thought I could do, or thought things that I've always wanted to do. I'm gonna do it this year. I'm gonna make it happen.
do it, buddy. Do it. Do everything. Well, not everything, but just
I'm not gonna fly a helicopter, but I
yes, you can. It'll be fucking great. Like, and I think that was one of my successes was that no one ever told me I couldn't. Like no one ever fucking told me I could. And the ones that did were like, oh, you'll never do that. I remember there was this girl in high school. She was like, I had like a picture of like a bodybuilder on I think it was like we were doing like a collage or something like that. And she was like, I said, I'm gonna look like this one day, And she's like, no, you're not. She's like, I'll bet you $1,000 you'll never be that. And I was like,
We should find her. Like she owes you $1,000. Right.
Yeah.
She can keep that 1,000 because you know what? That 1,000 that we bet propelled me to do it. And then when I got my pro card, I was like, bitch.
Just send her tickets to your next show.
Oh man, yeah. But that right there it was huge. It's like you can do anything you want, Charlie, and you can start it today. The hardest part is
You gotta put your mind to it.
the hardest part is just getting started. Just walk up to. I know plenty of people that walk up to fucking millionaires in like their nice cars and be like, "Hey man, what do you do for a living?" And it's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I'm an executive here and I do this. Like, yeah, but what do you do every day? And they'll just sit there and pick and be like, I could do that. Like, yeah, you can. I'm like, oh, how did you get into that? I'm like, oh, I went to this and I did this and did this. And like, you can just do that. Like, you can go up to a pilot and be like, what school did you go to? Was it hard? No, it's just bookwork and this and this and the time. And it's like, how much money did it cost you to learn? It's like, maybe like $75,000 with student loans and whatnot. It's like, and then how much did you make the first year? It's like, I made like 25 grand, but I had to get my hours and whatnot. And then they'll break it down and be like, but this is where you make the good money. And so then you can like create like a little plan for yourself and be like, okay, I'm going to do this. 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 And then just go and be like, hey, I only have enough money for one flight lesson this month and I'll do that. And then before you know it, like 3 years goes by and guess what? You're a fucking helicopter pilot.
So,
Hell
like,
yeah.
I think we've all
Fucking A.
followed certain people that have like a very rigid, like when we talk about successful people, like look at Mark Wahlberg for example. Like, he's at what 4 a.m. club, but he follows a very rigid, strict schedule. Like if you look at Elon Musk and how he runs his day, those are guys that they follow a very strict adherence to a schedule, but most of their schedule is things that are avoiding distractions. Like so they're not too in tuned in social media and they're not on their phones all day unless it's like business type stuff. But like it's just the avoid it. And a lot of those guys are very like vivacious readers, right? So like I think that's kind of the goal this year is to kind of like cut out most of the distractions that I've had that I've allowed to take hold in my life. Like I don't know how much time I spend on social media anymore these days or just surfing the internet or YouTube, but cutting some of those distractions out and then sticking to a very rigid schedule to where you can, all right, I these are my goals. This is what I want to accomplish. So, and this is the plan. This is how I'm gonna get there.
Absolutely. If you don't have a schedule, you're pretty much you're doing yourself a disservice. Like you should be on a schedule for sure. Like it's just more productive that way. And yeah, you're right, Ryan. Like getting off the fucking social media. I, dude,
That's true, the social media. That's one thing I did pick up this year. I mean, well, we're 9 days
Unfortunately,
in, but
running
I'm
a
sticking to it.
podcast, it's almost impossible to get off of social media. But I try to stay
It
on the
is, but like
podcast channel more than anything else.
it is, but like at night, instead of watching TV, I might read a book.
Yeah.
Like I'll read a book just to try to get better at something. I try to learn something, whether it's big or small, every single day. Just because there's a lot of things in people's life. Like I focus on retirement. I want to buy a house this year. I got kids that I got to deal with and stuff, and I always think about that stuff. But I mean, you're right. Social media, TV, put it down.
Like, what
You
else
know,
is a distraction in your life? Honestly, what would you say that you've allowed to take root in your life that could be a distraction that keeps you from your goals?
I don't think you want to know. Let's talk relationships.
oh man, that's one thing. That's
No,
one thing
no.
we haven't done on our show either is talk about relationships. Right?
Yeah.
I am gonna do an episode of relationships, but there's like a whole thing behind it. But honestly, like I'll get lonely. I will get lonely and I'll start jumping on these dating apps and
Mm.
like wanna
Fuck it.
now I don't want to say it's like for the wrong reasons because like if I ever found the right person, obviously I would continue to pursue it and stuff like that. But I always end up like filling a gap. And then once I get distracted with like whether it's, dealing with the podcast or work or sports, I put it to the
You're
side. And
chasing a
honestly, that's not
feeling when you
fair
do
to the
that, though. It's not
yes.
like you're chasing love, but you're chasing to get rid of that loneliness off your back.
Exactly. But to me, I feel bad because it's like it's not fair to the women. And that's a distraction for me. I shouldn't use that to just fill in the gaps or whatever. Like if I'm actually if I'm out there dating, I should date for the right reasons, which I do now and everything and stuff. But like that's a distraction. Just because like there's times that, I'll sit around, I'm like, man, I really like to go out to dinner and, I could go alone again, which is fine. I don't mind doing, but sometimes, you like that
Dude,
company and
sometimes
stuff,
I
but
love eating
I
by myself.
love, yes. I was
Yeah,
just going
I
to
like
say that.
I will
I
straight
do,
go to
I
a
do.
restaurant, order a steak, sit there by myself. It's great sometimes.
I do the same thing, and honestly, it doesn't really bother me. But there are times where you kind of just want someone just to shoot the shit with. Obviously, I should probably call a buddy. I typically will like find a female friend, like, hey, you want to go grab some, let's go grab a steak and a drink or whatever. But I don't really drink anymore or anything like that. That's a distraction that I kind of killed, which is pretty
Good.
good. But Other than that, like the distractions for, I'd say this year is none. Like I'm seriously focused this year. I'm going to get back on track with everything. I've had surgeries that kept me down. I've had, just life stuff in life that's happened to me that's kept me down. And I'm not using it as an excuse. I did then, I'm not now. And I'm going to make sure that this year is the year that it's going to be a shining year for me. It's going to be hard and expensive, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it will for all of us. I have
Yeah,
faith in that. But I
I do.
was just talking to it was either Courtney or Sal. I can't remember. We were having this discussion the other day. But when it talked about alcohol consumption, like I read something that alcohol consumption across society is down like a lot. But
Uh,
I don't know how big that number is skewed. You know what I mean? So I guess a lot more people are turning away from alcohol. But are they turning away because and I haven't seen any studies that say otherwise, but are they turning away because like things like marijuana and stuff are more prevalent and legal in a lot of cities and states? So that I don't know. Hopefully, it's the avoidance of alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, people need to. I think people are starting to go away from it. I have noticed a lot more people are getting into
Yeah.
fitness, and I think it's a good thing for some of the right reasons. But like I've seen a lot of kids on steroids too, and I'm like, guys, you don't have to do that. I know a guy, aka Sal, that can literally put you on the track that you want to be on to be fit, to build the muscle, lose the fat, stuff like that. Like you don't like I understand you want to follow Sam Sulek and you want to be like Ronnie Coleman and all that stuff. Like that stuff, I mean, they do that professionally for like that's their life.
There's no money in it.
Like you are
There's no
19,
money in it.
like you are 19 years old. You do not need to be on steroids right now. Like especially at 19, your pecker's gonna fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm glad to see society taking a turn towards that. I do like when I go to the gym, I see a lot more people in there. I see a lot of younger generation that's in there. I started to see a lot of older generation. Sometimes I'll go at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and you'll see the older generation that's in there working out. And I'm like, dude, that's fantastic. They're taking charge of their life. And that's where people need to
Just
do.
for clarification, who are you fucking considering the older generation?
My
Oh,
mom,
okay. Just making
65.
sure. I'm just making
Yeah, you're
I love your
you
mom.
haven't even hit your midlife crisis yet.
I love your mom, Colleen. She's fucking awesome, man.
It's Colleen.
That too, Colleen.
No,
She knows what I mean.
she'll be 65 this year, and I love my mother to death, but I think it's hitting her. Like she's like, fuck, I'm old. I'm like, I mean, you're not a spring chicken, but maybe it's time to start living life. It's time to get out. You've worked your whole
For
life.
Edison, or what? Not Edison,
Like,
GE, right?
no, so my mom actually, she used to work for a place called Sinpac. She did that for I think like 20 years. Got out, she started her own daycare, which running a daycare with kids, I mean that's gonna age you. And obviously she didn't do the daycare right because if she would have done it Minnesota style, we probably would be millionaires right now. But we're not. No, I'm just kidding. No, but like even my stepdad, he does a lot of electrical work. He works on equipment for restaurants, and I mean I can see him coming home and he's just drained anymore. And that's where like when I see these guys at the gym and they're like in their 60s and 70s working out, I'm like I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I want to have enough energy that I can play with my grandkids. I can go to the gym. I can take care of my health. I can control it to a certain point. After that, I believe it's in God's hands. But I want to be able to do my part so maybe he can bless me with his part and then give me extra time on this earth.
So there's a guy at the CrossFit
Yeah.
gym that I go to, and his name's Hal. Shout out Hal. I know you're probably never gonna see this because you don't have social media anyway. But like he's a coach there, and I want to say he's 73 years old, and he coaches CrossFit, and so it's kind of cool to see him because he's like the old like I remember before he became a coach when he was just one of the athletes that would show up for the classes, and he was like just seeing him in there was probably the most. I don't care if you were the fittest. And the most motivating thing that I would see would be Hal over in the corner grunting as he's lifting the bar. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that dude right there, that's powerful. I don't care about you over there changing your shoes for the second fucking time.
Are you sure? Because you are a shoe guy.
I'm a
so-
shoe guy, but I'm not
I mean,
one of
I
those guys that
remember-
changes shoes during workouts. Like, no.
Listen, I remember packages getting showed up at our hooch. And it's like, what is this? And it's like, oh, I bought 3 pair of jeans. I'm going to hang them in the closet so the wife don't see them. And, it'll look like it'll blend in. And I'm like, oh, what the hell is this crap? You're a shoe guy.
Yeah. So I used to have stuff delivered to the office just for the purpose of like All right, I would leave it there, and I'd take it home, and I would set shoes in the bottom of the closet, just and out, and just so they were visible, but I wouldn't wear them for like a month. I had like a rule, like a month was the minimum. Once that month had gone by, then I'd put those shoes on, and I remember my ex-wife, she'd be like, "Did you buy new shoes again?" I'm like, "No, I've had these." I'm not lying. I've had them. They've been in the closet.
That's right.
I mean, touche.
That's right. I've had these for like a year. What are you talking about?
Gaming the system.
I told you.
I'm gonna have to get one of those. I'm gonna get off here and spend some money. I already
We'll
know
send
it.
you a list of the equipment that we know that works, and then you
Yeah.
can just go wild.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow you guys. I've already called Verizon. I'm gonna update my phone to the 17 Pro.
That's the way to go.
I'm probably gonna go buy a Mac laptop. And then like a new stand. I already ordered a desk. I literally took my kitchen table down just so I could pull my desk in.
Hell yeah. Honestly,
And
it's literally they're like $20 fucking holders, huh, Ryan? That are like the best fucking cell phone holders. Shit, you not like this
The one
is
I have holding mine right now is like $15 on Amazon, and it's 3M, and it uses the MagSafe back of the phone.
Charlie, I spent like $2,500 fucking dollars on all this gear, maybe more. $20.
was it worth it?
20
What is
fucking
that?
dollars. It hangs. So it hangs on it adapts to the back of your iPhone, right? And then there's like a small
Yeah.
little clip over here, and then it fucking just hooks onto your laptop or wherever, and it just fucking points and it holds it there. And
So I see the camera's moving with you. Is that like something in the camera?
Once you go to
or-
Apple, because right now you're using a Samsung computer. Once you go to Apple and you're using Mac, when you connect your phone to it, you're going to be able to select center stage. So center stage is going to create it where it follows you. If I
Yeah.
turn my center stage off right now, it's going to back
Yes.
me up. If I turn it on, it's gonna pull me back down into the. But that's just using
Yeah.
those Mac compatible products.
And then there's like studio lighting where like if you see it gets darker in the back, the phone does like a lot of like cool things. Or if you want to like to really zoom in with the telescopic lens on the camera on the phone, you can do that. Like
So-
it does it all.
Since I have like the Samsung laptop, I mean, I wonder if they make an iPad, like a really nice iPad that I could kind of hook up to make it.
You can,
You know what I
probably do
mean? Where I
like-
could use my phone and the iPad.
I'm sure
Well,
you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you would still use your phone. Like even iPads are not going to have the same camera.
Oh, really? iPads?
No, yeah, you need the phone. The phone is the ultimate thing. Like I think the next step up is Ryan and I buy this fucking camera that's like $4,000 that will only outdo this phone.
I told you I mentioned it.
I think I'm gonna be on Ryan's side with this. I think when you get to 1,000 followers, maybe buy the camera. But I know you, Sal. Like if it's not the best, you're just not
Well,
done.
I don't have kids.
Like,
I don't have kids, and
I'm surprised you don't have a warehouse right now. That's just for the podcast.
it's not because I haven't been looking for
Exactly.
it. You know, it's easier when you don't have kids and when you don't have responsibilities. My biggest responsibility is my dogs. I eat frugal. I don't even eat frugal, but I mean, like I have a plan, just like we said, a schedule. I only spend like $150 a week on food or whatever, and I make all my meals for like my bodybuilding, and I can still do it on that. But like all that extra income that I have that most people spend on dumb shit, like I spend that on big shit. You know, it takes a while, but like you can do it. You can do it. Like you just
Oh,
got to
yeah.
cut corners on certain things. But yeah, like no, dude, the iPhone is the way to go. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, and then when they get an 18, we'll jump onto that bandwagon too. There, huh, Ryan?
I mean,
And-
I paid for that whole early upgrade plan just for.
And you still didn't have it in time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start looking into some more equipment and stuff. I mean, obviously you can see like right now I'm sitting on my couch and stuff, but I am gonna build it. I'm still working on building the kitchen, which was a kitchen, into like a studio,
But you could do
which I think is
you
gonna
can
be-
do a
gotta remember
professional
your-
green screen. Like you can do a professional green screen, Charlie, and then like you would just adapt to it. And then like right now it's kind of fuzzy because there is no green screen. But if you were to put if you were to put that feature on a green screen, there would be no like hiccups with like the lighting or what's not getting covered and whatnot, you know? So like you don't have to go and create like this big ass fucking mission to get a studio set up the way you want it. Technology,
Well, what if I want to?
you can. I mean, you can.
And you got to remember
do,
too,
so-
not your audience, but your guest space. So like Sal and I, we do this virtually. Like right now with 3 guests, we have 3 panes. So with 3 panes and us filling the frame, it really limits what what the camera captures. So don't spend too much time worrying about your background all the time, because if you're doing a virtual podcast, it's going to be cut down depending on what you're feeling in the frame. Like if you have a guest, an in-person guest, well, now you got to open it up a little bit. So maybe you care about the background just for that particular area.
Yeah, so a lot of my podcast is gonna have in-person guests. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna do, like, virtual and stuff like that, but I really wanna build a place that, I want, because I feel like I can get people more comfortable to talk when they're in person, they're just sitting out, it's like having a conversation with a friend, like, it's easy for us to have a conversation because 'cause we're all
Yeah.
friends, but, like, I plan on interviewing people that I probably have met maybe 1 or 2 times, and I wanna get them in, get them comfortable, "Hey,
Get them liquored up.
here's a water, here's a drink," what
Here's 4 beers.
But no, I
Right
feel
back.
like when you are comfortable in a setting, you are literally going to open up
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Now, if they get drunk, that's on them. I'm gonna order them an Uber and they can get out, but everything's gonna be recorded because I am not gonna be on the news at all. But the studio is not only for podcasting. My son wants a studio because, obviously his video games, his fishing stuff. My daughter does a lot of, makeup videos. She has like a small channel right now that's very monitored heavily by me, but she actually has more followers than me too, which is kind of a thing because she throws it in my face. But like she's real big into makeup and stuff. And I'm telling you, she knows everything about makeup. It's insane, but it's so expensive. Don't ever have a girl. It's expensive. I don't know if Jordan was in makeup or not or anything like
For a
that
period
in
of
her
time.
teens.
Now she barely wears any.
Well, I'm hoping it's just a stage. But like for Christmas, she wanted to go to Ulta and I walked in. I was like, all right, pick you out a couple things. And I'm telling you, there was a bottle that was like 6 inches and it was like $150. And I was like, no,
Like Jordan don't get
no,
dressed
I'm
up
like,
for
I'm not
work now,
buying
but like
this.
whenever she comes over here, she looks pretty homeless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's the look. I think that's a trend a lot of women are going to. They like the baggy clothes, throw the hair up and
Like,
walk
did you
out.
just wake
Man,
up?
I can't believe the baggy clothes are fucking back for the girls, man.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
God, I'm not a fucking fan of that.
Really?
No, man, no.
Like an oversized
Well, I
hoodie,
mean,
maybe, but let's stop it at
Mm,
hoodie. We don't need mom jeans. And like, so Courtney and I were at the mall the other day, and there was a
no.
pair of jeans that they were twice the size of bell bottoms. You could fit 13 legs in one of these things, and I was like, what is going on right now?
yeah,
All right, so that hasn't hit Ohio yet.
it is.
I mean, they're wearing kind of baggier jeans, but it still kind of shows the figure and stuff like that. And I
I don't
mean,
know what's
to the grace of God, to some,
that's to me. It seems like it's promoting fucking dudes liking dudes. Because if a dude likes a girl wearing baggy jeans and a fucking sweater and her hair like or no makeup and stuff, I'm like, you're dating a fucking dude. You might want to just call your boy over and just kick it with him forever because you probably have more in common.
so with that being said, like all my like when I was out dating, right? Like I was just dating a girl and she liked to wear baggy clothes and stuff like that and like no makeup, but that was around the house. Like when we went to my work thing, she was high heels, black dress, fully done. Like that's the stuff that I don't mind. If you want to bum it around the house, whatever. Bumming around the gym, whatever. But if we're going out and you dress up and stuff, like I need like a feminine kind of girl in my life. I don't need,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to find somebody
the
that's,
homie.
trying to match me.
Yeah, you're not trying to go.
And dating, you got to be careful because sometimes you don't know. Like sometimes these women out there, you don't know if they're actually
It's a
women.
dude. Okay, like
I'm scared to death that's gonna come. That's gonna
it
happen.
might.
I'm like
They made a movie
petrified.
in the 80s. It's called The Crying Game. You could be victim to it. Just be careful. But they also made another movie called Crocodile Dundee, and he almost became victim of it. And he checked the goods. He did.
That is still one of the best scenes of all
He
time.
called her a Sheila.
You always have to check the
He
goods.
called her a Sheila. He's like, oh shit, you're a Sheila. And like, like maybe we are getting to that age where you got to start doing that, But for me,
I think it's the world. It's not
For
our
me-
age. It's
for me,
society.
if I could wear a suit every day, I would, like if I could wear a 3-piece suit, if I could find a reason to wear my 3-piece suits, I would. I fucking love that era, like the 30s and the 40s, where like guys would dress up in like, khakis and like slacks and a shirt and
Peaky
like,
Blinders.
oh yeah, like,
Yes.
and then the girls,
Peaky Blinders.
the
That's
girls
great.
would wear their, pencil skirts and this and that and like tights and like they do their hair up and like I love that. Like to me, that's the epitome of like a man and a woman, like just a lady. If we could get back to that somehow, like That'd be amazing. Like maybe just like a retro future style of that. You know, like I could jive with that too. You know, but
Bro,
I think,
for our trip, let's dress like Peaky Blinders.
man,
Oh my
coming out of a
gosh.
fucking Toyota fucking Datsun 240 and then like just a pea coat and then just smoking a cigarette with a fucking derby cap on and just like, Ryan, fill that bitch up with 87. We can't afford this 93.
I'm dead.
Oh my
That
gosh.
would be awesome.
Yeah, like I love wingtip shoes and I love getting a custom made suit and just getting it tailored and fit good and like, man, it feels good, man. I went to Hugo
I like
Boss.
wearing a tie.
Ooh. I went to Hugo Boss for looking for a black coat and I found a tux. Now it was a suit, but they called it a tux. And I don't know about you, but Hugo Boss, I don't know if you knew this, but Hugo Boss made the suits for German SS soldiers, like
I didn't know that.
in
Oh
World War
wow.
II. Like, and you wonder why they looked so sharp. Like those dudes look okay. I'm not siding with them at all on what they
Right.
did, but damn it, didn't they look fucking sharp? Like their fucking
did.
uniforms look fucking tip top. And
They
and that
did. That they
Hugo Boss
did.
was behind it. So, anyways, I go to Hugo Boss store and I put this jacket on, and it fits so damn nice. And like, I was
Was it
like,
wool?
no, man, it was. I don't know what it was made out. It was made out of happiness and joy. And I was like, I looked at the price tag and it was like $4,000, and I'm like, I will fucking
Oh,
pay $4,000 right now for this motherfucker. It it didn't need any tailoring. The only bad part is that they were like, hey, I was like, I'll fucking buy this right now. And I was like, I'll put this on, I'll buy this. And then they're like, and I said, but hey, I need the 28-inch waist pants for these in a 34 length. And they were like, no, that one comes with a 32 waist. And I said, no, I get that. I want to buy the 40 jacket, but I need the 27 or 28 pants. And he goes, then you're going to have to buy the 28 jacket with the 28 pants. And I said, bitch, like they would not let,
wow.
they would,
You couldn't buy them as separates.
no, you could not buy them in separates. And I was like, man, fuck you. I don't have that kind of money for this shit.
I think I have more questions than the fact that you have a 28-inch waist. Is that like, are you still shopping like the husky section for
No,
boys?
no,
or-
no, 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 no. Like
Baby gal.
my legs still fit like a 32 pants, what they will. But like if I wear a 20, like my waist is small because I've kept it so small for over the years. But like my jacket is a 40 and my chest is a 4. It was in the peak season. It was like a 40, almost a 48-inch chest. And like, and, you know, I sometimes I could get into a 40, but it would be a 42. But then my waist would get down to like a 28. And people were like, dude, where the fuck did you pull that number out? And I'm like, I don't know. I just never did obliques. I just
Like
never did.
I'm a 32-inch waist, and I've wore the same size pants all of my adult life, so I'm fortunate.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I
But
was.
like I'm a 32-inch or 34-inch waist, and then but I'm a 42-inch chest. So all my jackets are like 42 regulars.
Yeah. Yeah. So shopping for me was really bad. But damn it, I wish we could go back to that, guys. I really wish we could. I think it'd be awesome, phenomenal.
Hey, trends come around. You never know. It might
But
come
we're-
back.
Like
They
for
might
this
make a
trip, I say
comeback.
we set up cameras in this car, and like we'll be dressed just to the nines in this like beat up Toyota Corolla.
Tulsa, you didn't see us coming. You were not ready for us. We're gonna go down to the fucking Waffle House, like dressed up. Like you guys Bible salesmen? Like, yeah, bitch, come on down. I'll tell you.
I'm gonna have a cane and a pocket watch.
Yes. Oh man, like I think if you just invest, you know, okay, so I think dressing baggy and dressing comfortable promotes laziness. Like you shouldn't feel ultimately comfortable. Like you should feel like you put on a pair of fitting pants. And if the pants that should fit you don't fit you, you have your answer. It's time to hit the gym. Like don't jump up to the next size. That's your cue to exit stage left, like now. But I think that if you invest in how you look and how you feel, it's gonna propel you further with everything. It's just, you just become approachable. You look like you care on the street. People are gonna flock to you. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, that's such a nice suit. Like, what do you do for?" Actually, I just dressed like this because I fucking wanted to. I said, "I'm actually a cop."
Look
and
good, feel good.
Hell yeah.
You know, like I remember going out to the country bars out here in a fucking like, it wasn't a fucking 3-piece, but it was like a fucking suit. And they're like, what do you got going on tonight? I was like, nothing. I just felt like dressing up. And they're like, you look great. And I was like, I feel good, you know, like, but then that was alcohol involved as well, you know? So I had a few drinks to kind of propel me into that feel good zone. So I don't do that anymore. But yeah, I would still do that. And I think society needs to kind of go back to that. Personally, me, I don't know.
I
I'm
miss
weird.
those like leather Western vests though too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like
Kind of like what Chris Pratt would wear, and you know what I mean.
in like Jurassic Park.
Well, yeah, I mean Jurassic Park doesn't have that. That was more like a tactical vest, but like in what was it, Magnificent Seven? Like,
Oh yeah. You could do it, Ryan. Just make sure it's a good quality vest. You don't want to look like you just like.
Just bring the trend back. Just
you
throw
know
a
what?
vest
Shit, I'm
on
gonna
the next
Google one
one and
right
bring the
now.
trend back.
I think Charlie had a black fucking vest that he would wear on his crotch rocket. Oh no, it was black
No.
cowboy boots on a crotch rocket. And
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
Charlie,
It was black cowboy
I
boots.
said, Charlie, what are you doing? They're like, I'm a biker. And I'm like, I think you got the wrong biker. Like you're supposed to be wearing like different boots.
They had like silver. They had like a silver
It had a
nose,
silver tip in the
and like
front.
there was like little silver around it and everything. And he's like, "Hey, bro, I don't think those are biker shoes." I'm like, "Oh, it's what I have."
I
may not be shopping right now.
love my life. I fucking do. It's so good to be back on here with you, Charlie, and these. Charlie, okay, honestly, how long has it been since, for the viewers, how long has it been since we've been in each other's presence?
I'd say the last time I saw you is 2014.
Yeah. And then right
14.
off the bat.
Same with you, Ryan. I think 14.
Right off the bat, like we didn't skip a beat, and it's straight to fuck you, Charlie.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I haven't. I mean, hell, there was times I'd go a year without speaking to either of you, and it's like we text out of nowhere and we just pick right back up where we
Yeah, I
left off.
FaceTimed you last night, and that's
Like,
the
it
first time I
just-
talked to you in fucking years, other than text.
Yeah, and it was, and I felt like I just talked to you the other day. Like it was no difference. I mean, I'm so glad you guys are doing great and everything, and obviously everything, no homer or nothing. You guys look good. You look like you're taking care of yourself. You look like you're out there kicking life's ass, and that's how it should be. But Sal, if you don't get a helicopter soon, and I want to see Ryan propel out in his vest,
I'll get it too.
Oh, man, I will do that.
and I'll pull up in your like little station wagon car and drop it off and ride off on my motorcycle with my black boots.
If right now somebody was like, hey, sell your car, or like, hey, just give me your car and you'll get your license, you'd take the car. Like, fucking, let's get this license right now. Like,
I mean, I'll print you out a license.
Charlie,
Give me a
no.
car. I'll give you a license. I mean,
So Charlie and I
mean,
we
it might
still
not be
gotta
legal,
acquire the
but
area.
I mean, I got you.
Ryan, we need, Charlie, it's about time that we tell people about these licenses that we used to make.
Oh my gosh. No. Okay. So you know how in the military you used to have to get your what is that? What is that card called? Like where you have to like take that bike course.
The motorcycle safety course.
Yeah, the motorcycle, the MSF card. I used to make those at the barracks and sell them.
We made them for each other and we turned them into fucking posts.
And it worked. It worked. And then I would get all these other people like, I'm buying a motorcycle. Can you make me a card? And I'd be like, yeah, give me $10. Set it on the flash. Just give me $10. I would make them a card. And it got so bad where I'm like, oh, dude, everybody's asking me for this damn card now.
And
I'm going to get
we got a laminating machine to like insert these things and then pass them through the heater. And like, I remember being like, Charlie,
oh, it was
I was
bad.
like, Charlie, they don't look good enough. They're still looking real shabby. Like, we got to get a better print.
It looked like something you order off Temu. It was so bad. It was bad. But hey, it worked. It worked.
That's what I'm saying, Ryan, is like, my life is filled with these fucking weird ass stories. Like, and it's not just Charlie, it was everybody else too. Like, I find myself utterly like impressed that I've made it, that I Forrest Gump my way here, because we should have been in jail for that, Charlie.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm like, damn, thank God we didn't get caught. Be working at Chipotle right now. I mean, no offense to them guys or anything like that, but little shady stuff. But hey, it worked out. It all worked out in the end. That's what I like. Never got caught. Now I can talk about it and laugh about it. And
we're gonna receive UC
go on
here
and
next week. They're gonna be like, motherfuckers are coming.
I know. I'm waiting for the VA to write me and be like, I heard about your career.
Your MSF cards.
You lost You lost every.
DMV's gonna be we're taking your motorcycle endorsement.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
there's so many funny fucking things. So many funny things. Yeah, I don't know.
All
Back
right,
to you,
well,
Bob.
we are back. We're closing in on our 2-hour mark. Charlie, have you had any other lessons learned since you started your podcast, or any other epiphanies? Anything in this conversation that has been like resonated with you that you're like, oh, I got to do this now?
Yeah, I mean, a few things. First and foremost, make sure the phone's charged. I got like 5% left, but I mean, it'll be all right. No, I've learned a lot. Like I'm sitting here and I notice my mic is bouncing a lot. But I think that's placement of how to set everything up. What YouTube definitely have taught me right now is basically just go, just go for it and learn on the way. Don't be afraid to just like take a chance here. And if it doesn't work, fuck it and fix it the next time. You know, like I've seen your guys' podcast grow. I've watched a lot of your videos and everything, and you guys have gone such a far way in such a short time. And I'm like, I need to make sure I'm on that same
3
trend.
months.
You know,
Three, three,
Gr-
3 months.
exactly. And in 3 months, you guys literally look more professional now than ever. You look like you're starting to get a hang of it and stuff. Which, and I'm sure it took hours and stuff like that. But like what I've learned from here with the podcast and stuff is a couple things. Obviously, got to get more equipment. Got to update. I'm not saying really update it because I kind of like what I have, but I do want to get like just different soundboards and
Yeah.
stuff. Obviously, you got to figure out the camera stuff. But what I really like the most, and I really appreciate you guys like bringing me on here, is I've learned that fuck it, I'm just gonna go all in. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to keep trying it. And if it works, it works. If not, I'll just try another episode and I'll just keep seeing where it goes and everything like that. But I think what you guys do make a difference. And I'm hoping to follow that trend. And I'm hoping, maybe after I get, 3 months in, you guys can come on to my podcast and it'll all work out.
Fuck yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, don't get so
Mix 'em
wrapped up
together.
chasing perfection. It's not gonna be perfect immediately. Like, go back and look at some of our very first episodes and, oh, man, they were rough.
Yeah, it was.
But that's how we grow. That's how we learn. That's how we grow and stuff. I mean, I've already looked at my first episode and thought, I'm not going to listen to this guy. Screw this dude.
Yeah, it's you're just gonna keep plugging away at it, like just keep creating content, more content, more content, more content, and then like it might not be your 99th episode that makes it big. It might just be that 100th episode. I was fucked up. We're gonna edit that out.
No, we're not.
But it might.
I do promote the podcast a lot.
Yeah, you have to, but like you have to get on there. You have to make your commercials. You have to get your banners and all that stuff. Like, but like,
Yeah.
you don't need all that to get started. You just need to get out there and create that space for people to listen to and get on Spotify. That's our next thing.
Yeah. So
Getting on
Spotify's are
Spotify.
next. Well, like I do have an intro video I worked on and created. So hopefully when this episode is published, then it'll have an intro video attached to it. But also, my question for you is, where are you available? Are you only available on YouTube right now?
Charlie's phone died.
Phone died.
Charlie, your phone died. All right, guys. So with that being said, Charlie's podcast is available on YouTube. I checked it out myself. The link to that will be added to this video. Charlie is a dear friend of ours and a brother, and we love him to death. You guys can see that he can hold a conversation forever. Very smart guy, very smart individual. It would behoove anybody to listen to what Charlie has to say. He's been through a lot. And if you guys don't get anything else from this episode, just know that we love you. I love you. Ryan loves you. And you don't have to be perfect today. No one's perfect. Only Jesus is perfect. And it's just about getting started and taking that first leap of faith in whatever it is that you want to do.
Please remember to like and subscribe. We love you, fam.